Fuzz and Rick are downstairs kissing or whatever they're doing. I'm up here, without their knowledge, modifying this rear axle. Now, inside this rear axle is something called a diff, a differential. Now that is a standard diff, and that has basically one job, and that is, if you imagine if this is the corner of a road, so there's one wheel, there's the other with the axle between them. If you look at the length of the journey this one goes on in comparison to the length of the journey to do the same corner this wheel goes on, it's significantly further, meaning that this outer wheel has to do more turns to get round the same corner than the inner wheel. So a regular diff is built to compensate for that and get round that problem. But imagine we're now in this car and this wheel here is sitting on some ice and this wheel here isn't. When you floor the car, all the power with a regular diff was sent to the one with the lowest traction. So all the power basically comes through this wheel here and will spin round, and this wheel here, which is sitting on the road, you need to get some grip and pull you out of it, is doing nothing. That is the fault with a regular diff. Now what I want to do is replace the regular old boring diff with something that dreams are made of, which is called an LSD, and the LS stands for limited slip. And the way that it works is, instead of sending all the power to the slippery wheel, it actually makes sure some of it goes to the wheel which is on the tarmac, giving you drive and making sure that you can keep going. That is a genius invention, and that thing there, well, used to be Rick's, it's now ours. Straight in. Right. There's a little play between the teeth on these gears, and there's a certain amount of backlash that you want, and that is way too much. So I'm going to bolt these in with the bearing caps here and the measure play there is in it. Now this thing here is called the DTI. You set up the probe head on there, so you can see the amount of play there is in that particular gear there. So that is 12,000th of an inch out, and this is to be set between 5 and 8. To fix that, what I need to do is bring the teeth closer together so there's less play between, because at the moment they're acting like that. So in order to do that, I need to take a spacer shim out from that side and put it on that side, which will push the gear over, and therefore the play then should be less. Right, I'm going to get on with that. Right, okay. I'm going to take that down. You can see one of the shims here. Oh, that is just a spacer shim. So I reckon that by moving one of those over to the ones on this side here, it'll shift that over just enough. Let's see if I can get it in. Right. Look at that. So that is now as good as you can get. So once I've put the cover back, torque those up, put the drive shafts in, we have an LSD. Party time.